Hello Stampers, Kate with Kate's Creations here to share a Stampin' Up! Card with you today. I am using the Flowering Tulips. It's a returning favorite. And yeah, just checking up here where I'm at. I'm using the Flowering Tulips stamp set and the Tulips dies. It's returning from the previous catalog, so it's still available in the new catalog, and you'll find it on page 26 and 27. So that's the stamp set I'm using there. For the greeting, I am using Go-To Greetings. I love this set. It's happy birthday, just a note, thank you, thinking of you, in 3 different sizes, I think. Yeah, 3 different sizes. Really nice. So you've got some variety to use on your cards. I'm also going to be using the time-worn type 3D embossing folder. And this is also a returning, it carried over from 2021. So it's carrying over for 2 years now. That's pretty cool. So those are the stamp and die sets that I'm going to be using. I'm also going to be using Old Olive, Pumpkin Pie, and Daffodil Delight ink pads. I'm also going to be using the re-inkers for Daffodil Delight and Old Olive, and the water brushes for that project. So let's get started. As you can see, here's the card. And this is much to my dismay. This is the first time I've pulled this stamp set out. I bought it and have not used it. So today was my first try. I am casing the card that you will see on page 27 in the new catalog, and pretty much trying to imitate it exactly, although I don't think I did it totally the same. Okay, so let's get started. You have an Old Olive base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. That makes our base card, like so. The next layer is then 5 1/4 by 4, and it is the one that's embossed with the time-worn type embossing folder. And we're going to use Stamp and Seal and just attach this to the back, flat to the front of the card. Get that. I'll put a little extra in the middle. I try and make embossed pieces a little, and then there are words in this, and I want to make sure that I get them right side up. So you'll want to watch for that when you're using it. And depends on how much you cover up, I suppose, because if you got it wrong, you could probably still get away with it. I don't know how many people would look that closely, but you never know. Okay, then I cut a piece. This is from the Waves of the Ocean Designer Series paper, and I do believe that's still in here. I wasn't sure. Wasn't that an brought back or something thing? Let's see. Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's an old one. So unfortunately, but I am sure that you could find any kind of designer series paper that would work. That's what I did. I just kind of looked through what I had, and this looked like it would work. So while it's not available anymore, I apologize. I'm sure that you can find something in your paper stash, if you're anything like me, that will work. And so this is cut 1 1/4 by 4. Yes. 1 1/4 by 4, and I'm attaching it to the front at just a little bit of an angle like this, and it's going on flat with Stamp and Seal as well. Okay, then save that. I have already stamped and die cut the pieces for the flowers, and so here they are. I did 3 stems, 2 large leaves, 1 smaller leaf. This was doubles, turn it over. And then 2 of the smaller tulips and 1 larger one. And on this larger one, I used the paper pumpkin. My head gets a little funny sometimes. the pumpkin pie for the center. I'm not sure I really like it. I did it on the first card as well, but I did it in a softer, I kind of softened the color a little, and I like it better. This is a little bit bold, but we're going to go ahead and use it. Okay, so then what I did is I brought in the glue dots, and I just started building my flowers and stems. And so I put a glue dot on the back of the smaller tulip, just like that. And then I wanted this tulip to kind of go off in that direction, so I turned my stem around so it would lean to the left, to my left anyway. And I'm just going to stick that flower to that stem. And then I'm going to do that with this flower. I'm going to put a glue dot on it. And I want it to go in the opposite, lean in the opposite direction. So I'm putting the stem in that direction, like that. And then the same thing with this larger flower. I don't know if it really needed a stem because it doesn't really show very much, but I wanted it to have one. So I did the 3 stems, and I'm going to have it go to the left as well. So there's those 3. Then it's a matter of putting the leaves on. And you know, it's just whatever you want to do. I'm going to attach, oh, I wanted to go with the front of it. There we go. I'm going to put one on the front of this stem, mini glue dot, and it's going to go on this flower. And I think about like so, and it's just really a matter of kind of eyeballing what you want to do. I like that it comes up and over the flower a little bit. That's kind of nice. And let's get the other one. And it's going to get a glue dot here. And it's going to go on this stem as well. And I'm going to come up a little bit higher and have it go off to the side just a little bit like that. Then I can take and put, you can tell I stamped on the back of this and didn't like what I had, so I turned it over and reused it. That's why you see marks here. Okay, and now this larger flower, I'm just going to bring it up. I want this stem to go over the front of it just a little bit, and so I'm just going to adjust it however I need to get it to do what I want. It can come up a little higher. That'll work. Okay, and then I need to put, I'm just going to snag a glue dot off of there, and I'm going to put this leaf on. And I don't know that there's a right or wrong way for these leaves. If you do it this way, you got that curve. If you do it this way, you got this cute little curve. So I did that one this way. This one that I'm going to use so that it has a little different look. And it's just going to go on here like that. And I'm not too worried about any sticky that's going to show because it's going to get covered up eventually with the sentiment anyway. Okay, then we need one more glue dot to attach this one to the rest of the piece I'm building. I'm just going to stick it on the back of that. Doesn't matter where, just anywhere where it'll work. And then it's just a matter of putting this one where you want it. So there are my flowers. I'm going to set that aside for a moment because now we're going to do the watercolor paper, and I forgot to put that on the list, but I am doing watercolor paper, and I am cutting it 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. Okay, I'm going to write that down right quick because when I put this on my blog, I want to remember that. 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. Okay. Then I used the Daffodil Delight re-inker, and I brought it in and I just put a couple of drops, and literally 1 or 2 drops is all you're going to need, onto a clear block. I spritzed it with some water just to get it going. And these are supposed to hold water, but I don't have any in it. So we're doing it this way. And I'm just going to get some in my brush. And I got a spot on that, but I don't think it really matters. I'll turn it over. Well, it's not going to matter because I'm going to sprinkle it anyway. Okay, and then I just literally brushed. And you can go as dark or as light as you'd like. And I didn't try to be careful. I just did it. Yeah, I'm happy. It doesn't have to be, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Now I want to have some green speckles. So I did the same thing with the Old Olive re-inker. Put some ink on the clear block. Added a little bit of water. I'm going to dip one of those brushes into it. And then I'm just going to splatter. Let's see, it's gotten a little thick. I had it sitting here because I was doing other things. So let's get some more on there. Just like that. That's enough. Let's stop with that. Okay, this is going to get the flowers attached to it, and I'm going to attach them, make sure this is dry, with some dimensionals. So let's do that wherever they will fit. Put some behind that flower, some up here on this one. I'm not real keen on the watercolor paper. I don't use it very often at all. And I can't really say I know why, because it's kind of fun to do some different kinds of things with it. So there's our flowers and stems. And let's get that so it'll stick better. There we go. And I'm just going to attach it. And there's some flexibility there to kind of spread the flowers out or whatever. There. So that's that. Then I'm going to turn the whole thing over and put dimensionals on the back of the watercolor paper. And they don't need to have tons of things on it there. It's just enough to support it. And then when I attach it to the front of the card, it's also going to have a little bit. It's going to go have an angle, and it's going to go opposite of what the other angle was of the DSP that we put on. And there's that part. That's the art layer, I call that. Then I stamped the happy birthday from the Go-To Greetings with Old Olive. And as you can see, when you sprinkle with a brush, it goes everywhere, and this was sitting off to the side, so it has some sprinkles on it. If they come out, I'm really not too worried. I think that's kind of cute. I'm going to just cut this out, kind of following the contour of the sentiment. And leaving a little bit of a border all the way around, probably probably a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch, somewhere between there. Might have been in the 1/16. And I'm just going to follow it around. I'm going to get rid of the extra so it's easier to cut. I'm just going to keep going here. And there, you're not looking for perfection here either. Just follow the contour, do your best, take your time, and enjoy the cutting. It can be therapeutic to be cutting. Okay, and here we go. We're almost there. Get some more out of the way. I'll save those scraps. They'll work for doing little things later. And there we go. Push those off to the side. So there's my happy birthday. That's what I'm needing it right now, or some birthday cards. Got someone who's going to be coming by in a couple of days to buy a bunch. She buys for the year, once a year, so I want to have a bunch of choices. And I just put a dimensional on the end of each one of them, and I'm going to have it go across those stems and press it into place. And there is today's cards. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel and that you'll check out my blog. There's where I put up contests, specials, sales, and other information. There's some pages on there with information about all kinds of things. So I hope you'll check that out as well. And thank you for stopping by. You have a good day.